Hi guys, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. So I'm coming to you guys with Living with Herpes Part 3. I promise you guys I will do, it's a 6-part video and I will come to you guys with one part each week. So we're on Part 3. We should be on Part 4. But I did overtime that weekend and I really do apologize for that, guys. So right now it's 8:03 and today is June 6th, 2015. So I'm coming to you guys. Look at my weave, guys. So I'm coming to you guys early with this video because I woke up at 6. I woke up at 5, but then I napped until 6. Um, so good morning, guys, and so I left off telling you guys that when I found out I had herpes, I felt like I was actually herpes. I didn't feel like I had a virus or an infection. I felt like I was the actual virus or infection itself. Um, I I understand that I understood that herpes was a STD, and I was just really hoping that it was curable. I went through a lot of natural remedies that could cure herpes. Again, as I told you guys, I do believe that I could be cured, but it has to be by God. I don't believe that I'm gonna walk around and have sex with someone and pass it on. I understand that that would pass it on to them, but I believe that God could cure me if I keep praying and fasting and just follow His word and what He tells me to do. Um, so also, so this is gonna be 30 minutes, as you guys know. So at 8:33, last time the video went over a little bit. 8:33, I got this video, so it's gonna be 30 minutes, and it's the 6th part. I'm in the 3rd part, so we have 3 more parts to go. As I told you guys, my world went crashing when I found out. I don't really want to go back over details, but I had went to North Central Hospital, was where I was going to see my GYN, North Central Hospital in the Bronx. And when I was going there, they just really would rush me off. So I feel like a lot of these practices that we go to, you telling them you're having sex with a guy and they ask you the age and they're like, oh no, this person wouldn't do that because they're in an age range that they understand that it's dangerous, but it doesn't matter what the age of the person is. That's what I want you guys to know. It doesn't matter the age of the person. It doesn't matter if the person is 40, 50, 60. Some women say they date older guys because they feel like they're going to be more careful. It is you're not going to know a person that is infected with this disease. You're not going to see it from the outside. Um, if you see it on the outside, usually that person is just like, it just hit them that they have this disease, and they might be going through the transitional stage, which I went through, as I told you guys. The disease herpes also makes you depressed, have mood swings. It makes you weak, it makes you tired, and it makes you lethargic. Um, it also makes you emotional. You feel as if everybody else is normal and you're just not normal. You feel like everybody else is okay, but you're not okay. You're bad. That's how it makes you feel. Um, you have to push. It makes you have to push extra hard to feel comfortable or okay in a normal setting. So it's difficult because especially if you have a previous disorder, disability. It could be mental, physical, whatever it is, and then having a incurable STD on top of that, because that definitely comes with that. I googled a lot of these facts, and I had went through at least 10 articles, top to bottom, 12, 20 pages, 30 pages. I even read an article of 150 pages, just trying to figure out how can I cure this, how can I maintain it. I don't really know what to do with this. And when I was looking, it I read so many articles, and it was so weird that not every article tells you that it comes with mood disorder. Not every article tells you that it does cause depression, and that you're going to continuously go through depression during the time you have it, because it makes you unbalanced. Not every article says that, and I find that so weird. Even if you have a curable STD, unlike mine, it 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 doesn't say that. When you read the stuff, it tells you like, oh, the symptoms, itching, this, that. What about what is the long term? You know what I'm saying? So for me, these articles are so inefficient. The doctors don't really explain this to you. However, the doctor that did, when I first when the doctor diagnosed me with it, she gave me. I went to one hospital and they don't do anything about it. And the other hospital I went to, they give you antibiotics just to see if it can cure it, because you have a slight possibility in the beginning of contracting this. But for me, sadly, it was in the beginning when I found out I had it. It's very rare that when you're just infected, you find out that you have it, because they have to be testing for that specific STD. I feel like if you go to the doctor and they do a pap smear, they should test for everything. Once you say you're actively having sex and they ask you how much time you're using condoms versus how much time you're having sex, and you're having sex more than you're using condoms, I feel like they should automatically test you for that stuff. You know, they've been trained to do this. I don't know why you have to request specific tests. That to me, that's just like, I feel like when I was diagnosed, that they feel like if you have incurable STD, it's not going to make a difference whether you find out now or later. That was the way that I felt when I got tested. That was the way I felt. Um, I've also had other people come to me and tell me they feel the same way, um, and not have an incurable STD. Be fine. But at the same time, it is so scary to know that this STD was hiding, underlining in my system, and I've taken so much tests and it wasn't found. So that is very, very scary for me. Um, I felt so down and out once I found out I had that. I just wasn't doing anything with myself. Um, I wasn't bathing. I went through a deep, deep depression and a mental breakdown. As I told you guys, I found out I had herpes, and my children, I found out with a letter via mail, express mail, which I had to sign for, that I was losing custody of my kids. So that made me have a mental breakdown. And it wasn't immediately, it was just, I realized that I didn't want to do anything. Nothing had taste. I didn't want to do anything. If I was cooking, I just started crying, just crying, 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 not being able to control it, just crying. So I realized that over time, I just thought, maybe I'm stressed. I did take stress tests, and I was really stressed as well. Um, Doctors actually told me to take bed rest. Um, Told me I was too stressed. I need to take bed rest. Um, During the time that I found out, I also had to fix my cords by my laptop. Off subject, but I immediately enrolled myself in college. I needed something to live for. That was just how bad I felt. I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to kill myself. Um, I felt like life was over, as if nobody else was gonna want me, and I was really down and out. Um, Even though that was like a psychosis of the moment, it wasn't like I want to commit suicide. I want to kill myself every day. It was just at the time that was the psychosis, which is what I'm explaining to you guys, are also side effects of having a STD in your system for so long. It triggers it triggers psychological issues. Um, when I had this I had basically contracted this disease at 17 and had it in my system for 3 years and didn't get any treatment or anything like that. So that was the effects of not being treated for something that is wrong in your system. The antibiotics also can prevent you from getting breakouts. That's why they administer it immediately. And I took two different antibiotics. I took one that they take very commonly. It's they give it to you even for sore throat. I'm gonna Google this so I can tell you guys exactly what it is. Um, was a very common. So this is what I took. I took strep. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the names right now. What these antibiotics do is they are a bacillus. It kills bacteria, and I took an antibiotic which was a bacillus trendostatistics, which it prevents the bacteria from separating. So that's what I took it for, so that it wouldn't separate. I guess it wouldn't separate. Now during the course of being with this guy, I'm really lucky. I guess he has outbreaks and I don't have outbreaks. I guess because during the course of him giving me this STD, of him giving me herpes, I had strep throat, I had sore throat, I had cold sores, I had stomach viruses. So I took a lot of antibiotics during that time of getting it. So um, it can also cause hearing loss and it can cause kidney damage if it goes untreated. Um, I took spexin, which is usually treated for gonorrhea, but that's what I took. And so it's SPECTINOMYCIN. And um I also took the other antibacterial that I took was Laura Carbeth, which prevents bacterial cell division by inhibit inhibiting cell wall synthesis. So those are the two that I took. I took Laura Car Laura Lorac Carbeth, and I took spencentomycin. Spencentomycin. Those are the two I took. And again, those are to stop it from separating. Those are the two antibacterials. Those are the two. Those were the two antibiotics that I took. Um, if you guys encounter something like that, also they so I took that, and at first I was leaking pus. As you guys know, I also had cervical cancer. A cervical cancer test come up positive and then go be not positive, and that's how I found out I had the cervical cancer. I was leaking pus. So in my underwear, it is a not actual pus. It's a yellow discharge that looks like pus, but it's not pus. So that's what I was finding in my underwear, and I started wearing panty liners and to see what was happening. Also, I was bleeding and I wasn't on my menstrual cycle. So all these things was what was happening to me. So that's how I found out. I immediately knew something was wrong when I saw that. Um, Living with herpes, how has it been? It has been very, very difficult. I feel like I have this secret that I can't tell anybody, which separates me from everybody, which makes me different. I feel like why it has to be me? Why couldn't it be somebody else? Why did it have to be me? I feel like why what makes somebody so evil, you know, so cruel to have something like that and still have sex with somebody knowing that they have this and it is incurable. Um, he told me he was taking male vitamins, but what he did is he would fill the container of like the Centrum with his medicine for outbreaks. There is a medicine that they give you for outbreaks so that you don't spread it, and basically that's what they gave to him. Um, this guy is still dating women and passing on this STD. As I told you guys, he told me if I think I'm the only woman that he could be with, he can be with many other women. It doesn't have to be me. Um, I have to work on fixing myself. I can't really take on, I there was one point where I was wondering if I could like send him to jail or something like that for knowingly having the STD and spreading it around. But I don't think that I could mentally deal with seeing him at all. So for him to know he has a STD and still spread it, I feel like, you know, if the porno star can go to jail for spreading gonorrhea and knowing that he was not supposed to, knowing that he had it, knowing that he was supposed to have sex, why can't he also, you know, not to do a long time, but that so that there is a record of it, and so that he does not care for anybody else's life if he spreads this STD. And if this STD is given to somebody with like a weak immune system, it could literally kill them. So when I got it, I was literally out, down and out. I got all these other bodily symptoms, sore throat, strep throat, all these other things was the effects of getting herpes. It can also make your body, what it does is it is fighting against your immune system and breaking it down. So it makes you susceptible to any other sickness there is, such as fevers. I ran constant fevers, headaches, stuff like this. This is when your body is fighting against this disease to fight it out, and the disease is fighting to go in. So, if there's times where I had strep throat, stomach virus, all of these because my body became susceptible to all this stuff immediately after this happened to me. So it's 8:21 now, guys, and in 12 minutes I'm gonna cut this video. So I want to really I'm gonna keep going and keep talking about it. For me, you guys asked me what it was for me, so I'm telling you guys all the experiences that I had with it. Um, I would fall asleep during the middle of doing my homework or stuff like that. Not because I was tired. I could have a full 12-hour sleep, but my body was literally so weak. I had just had a child. That was one thing main for me. I just had a child, plus I contracted this disease. So it was my body was really, really weak, and I could not really my body I didn't have enough energy to fight out this disease and do what I had to do at the same time. So for me, I end up having to cut out all my other activities, no more going to the movies on the weekend or anything like that. I would literally have to just I had to what I had to do was focus just on school and school alone because that's all I had energy to do in 1 week. And on the weekend, I would have to sleep in, wake up, eat, and go back to sleep so that I had enough energy to get to school, do what I had to do in school, answer questions, be active, be alert, um, do the work that was assigned to me, and not feel like I was about to die. I felt like I was dying. I was nauseous. My body was aching and it was cramping. I was just really, really tired, sleepy, and felt like, like this was the worst thing in the world. How am I going to do this? Because I was so weak. I was literally so weak. After the shower, I would shower really early so that I could be able to lay down and take a nap before getting dressed because I became so weak when I contracted this disease. I don't really know what can I do to stop this guy from spreading this disease, knowing that he has it. If anybody knows what I can do about it, you can leave in the comments box below. I don't really think that I'm ready to. I don't want there to be like a time where I can't pursue this anymore and I can't help the other women out there from contracting this disease from this guy. Um, so if any of you guys know what I can do to stop this guy from killing other women's dreams like the way he did to me and breaking them down the way he did to me, leave in the comments box below and I will try my best to I'll tell you guys which comments I think is I will be able to utilize and which ones I can't. Um, so I went back to school and I stayed in school for a whole year just to get back, feel like I had some work. I felt like was worthless and I had lost all my work. So when I got into school, it was really hard because again, I was battling a personal issue in my life. And these people were just doing, what they felt like they had to do. People were still mean. People were still bullying. People were still rude and doing all these stuff that they normally would do in their everyday life. However, for me, it was even 10 times more traumatizing because of what I was going through in my own personal life. So I didn't feel like going anymore. In the first semester, after the first day, I didn't feel like going the second day. I didn't feel like going the third day. Every day I went, I didn't feel like I was learning anything. I didn't feel like there was a reason for me to go there. I felt like, woe is me. Life is done for me. I'm going through something. Why should I go here? Why should I be here? And I started school across the street. 3.5 months felt like 3.5 years. It felt like I was sentenced to something that I had willingly enrolled myself in. Um, I had always wanted to go to college and get my PhD, but when I got in, I did not want to stay. I didn't want to stay. I looked for something to say why I shouldn't stay, and I never found it. To this day, I am still going back to school. I am now going to switch over from going to finish my associates to just going to try to get my bachelor's. So I'm gonna do a year more college, and I'm gonna get my bachelor's instead of getting my associates in psychology. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna transfer to 3 year college. Um, maybe I have some of the information wrong, but that's what I'm going to be doing, guys. So I want to let you guys know that. I haven't found an excuse for me to stop. It has actually been working, getting a job, going to school has actually been what keeps me running. It keeps my wheel going. It has definitely boosted my moods. Um, if I'm getting harassed and somebody's bothering me, that's when I actually experience the symptoms of this STD, which is the lethargy and the feeling down. But I don't really feel depressed. I feel like lethargic. I don't get the depression anymore. I believe the depression, it can go through the whole cycle from you have the STD until, but I don't experience that. I actually just experience a lethargy and not feeling like being bothered, not feeling like wanting to do it. So I'm so grateful and I thank God, who is the ruler of my life, that I don't experience that, because when I did, it was really awful. I felt like, what the heck is going on? Why do I feel like this? I think I'm in the wrong body. I think somebody switched bodies with me. Honestly, that's how I felt. Going about my life, when I looked outside, it just looked so horrible. It just looked like it was raining all the time to me, even when it was sunny. People would be outside happy, and I was upset with them. Why do they look happy outside? It's not happy. Um, and everything bothered me. I became very, very emotional. So I definitely am so happy that I don't experience that, but I do experience the lethargy. I do have to push myself to do regular stuff because of my lack of financial stability. Um, I have a set financial stability, but again, it is not a livable wage. It is just it just gets the bills paid. It just gets me by. So that also had a huge impact on the way it affected me. So guys, we have less than 5 minutes. It is 26, and it's gonna cut off. I'm gonna cut this video off at 33. So just be aware of all these things that I went through. The music playing in the background is actually my music that I purchased off of Google Play Music, and I downloaded the app as well, and it's playing on my tablet, and playing on my iPhone or iSound speaker, wireless Bluetooth speaker off my tablet. So that's the music playing in the background. I do not own any of the rights to that music. It's just a playlist. Um, any of the music playing in my background, usually I don't own any of the rights to any of those musics. Um, So just be aware of all these stuff that I listed, because when you read all these pamphlets and these documents, like me, not knowing what you have, not knowing what to do about it, not knowing how do you live with it, not knowing if you're gonna be able to cope with it, um, feeling like life is done. These are just some of the stuff that it doesn't usually say you have to read. You have to be determined and read a lot of pamphlets. And when you first find out you have something incurable, reading is not. It's just it. You just can't. You try to read, but it just like, why am I reading this? What is this doing for me? This is just a waste of time. I don't want to read this. So that is how you feel, and you have to push. I pushed very hard to push myself out of this. I stay around positive environments, which is only my religion. I don't really let people in or hang out with people, because, again, this is only 2 years since I found out I had this. This is very new to me, not having my kids in my house and all this stuff. I'm still adjusting. Also, I'm still adjusting to living on my own, having my own apartment. This year makes 5 years, so I can't really let people in because I have to focus on staying focused. So that's what I do for myself. Um, I do believe this will be very helpful to you guys if you guys do the steps that I did. Um, so I believe you guys should try it out. It will definitely help you out. Um, I I want Bella to help me stay focused. If I do feel lonely, I just hug her and squeeze her and kiss her. She gave me 5. And she makes me feel so much better. You guys saw that? Bella gave me 5. Look, she gave me 5. That's got to be like the third trick that I've actually caught on camera of her doing tricks. And she makes me feel a lot better. So I live by myself in my 2 bedroom. And that is also helped my healing process, living by myself. So I would tell any one of you guys, if you're struggling with something like this, maybe living by yourself by a while might help you out a lot, just like it helped me out. If you have any questions, any comments, leave it in the comment box below, and stay tuned for part 2 of living with herpes. Again, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. Thumbs up this video, share it, like it, leave your comments below. I just woke up. I have nothing in my hair. This is just, um, and remember, guys, not every STD you can see. Again, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. Be blessed, I do say. Mwah!